Most people think 600,000 miles happens by luck, like you either get a good Chevy or you don't. But the Chevys that hit that number are usually built on a handful of habits that keep small problems from ever becoming expensive ones. You can check where you stand in under a minute. When did you last check your fluids, tire pressure, or listen for new sounds with the radio off? If you can't remember, you're not alone. That's exactly why most vehicles never get close. In this video, we're counting down 10 habits that can take your Chevy past 600,000 miles without major repairs, with real intervals, clear warning signs, and the mistakes that erase lifespan fast. And near the end, I'll give you the 10-minute monthly ritual that catches problems early before they turn into the bills that make people give up on a car. We're starting with number 10 because it feels too simple, and that's why it works. Number 10, the 60-second radio off check. On your very next drive, steal 60 seconds from yourself. Turn the radio off and let the car talk. Roll through your neighborhood, then hold a steady speed if you can. If your Chevy is ever going to see 600,000 miles, this is how you catch problems when they're still small enough to be boring. Most people don't miss maintenance. They miss the early warnings because the cabin is always filled with noise. But cars whisper first. A faint hum from a wheel bearing, a new tick on a cold start, a belt that squeals for 2 seconds and then behaves like nothing happened, a clunk over a bump that you chalk up to bad roads. Those are not random sounds. They are previews. Here's the trick that makes it obvious. If you hear something new, run the same test tomorrow. Same road, similar speed, radio off. If it repeats, it's real. And there's a simple clue that narrows it down fast. If the sound changes when you turn left or right, that often points at tires or wheel bearings. If it rises and falls with engine speed, even when you're not moving, think belts or accessories up front. Once you've caught it, don't rely on memory. Jot down what you heard when it happens, and what makes it better or worse. That 1 minute of notes can save you from the could not duplicate dead end later. Then, do a quick basics sweep. Tire pressures, fluid levels, a look under the hood for anything wet, loose, or rubbing. This habit costs you nothing, and it saves you from the kind of repairs that show up only after collateral damage has started. Now that you've trained yourself to hear problems early, number 9 is the habit that decides whether your engine wears slowly or ages fast. Number 9, oil changes that match your real driving. Today, open your Notes app and write down your mileage, your last oil change date, and whatever your oil life percentage says right now. That little log is the difference between "I think I'm fine" and actually being fine. Most engines don't die because oil is some mysterious magic fluid. They die because people stretch intervals that don't match the way they drive. A lot of owners treat the oil life monitor like a challenge. They run it to 0, then push a little farther because the car still feels normal. That's where the long-term damage starts, especially if your life is short trips, traffic, idling, towing, or hot weather. That driving style loads the oil with moisture, fuel dilution, and heat byproducts. Over time, those invisible conditions show up as wear in the places you never want to pay for. You can feel the early drift before anything throws a light. Cold starts get a little rougher. The engine sounds a little louder over months. The oil on the dipstick smells like fuel or looks unusually thin. If any of that sounds familiar, it's not a moral failure. It just means your interval is too long for your routine. So make the interval fit your life. Use the correct oil spec and a decent filter, then shorten the interval if your driving is mostly stop and go or short hops. Keep that tiny log. 10 minutes a month tracking and checking basics turns into about 2 hours a year, and those 2 hours are how you protect the engine for the long game. Oil changes are predictable money. Engine repairs are the opposite. And once your oil routine is locked in, number 8 is how you protect your engine from the one thing that ends 600,000-mile dreams instantly: heat. Number 8, cooling system discipline and the heat budget. This week, when the engine is cold, pop the hood and check your coolant reservoir. Look at the level and look around hose connections for any crusty residue. If you want your Chevy to live forever, you don't wait for the temperature gauge to scare you. By the time the needle moves, you're already late to the party. The quiet mistake is topping off again and again without asking why why the level dropped. Coolant does not vanish on its own. Slow leaks turn into air pockets turn into hot spots, and hot spots turn small weaknesses into big failures. Heat doesn't just stress an engine, it warps, cooks seals, and accelerates wear everywhere. Your Chevy will usually drop hints if you pay attention. A sweet smell after driving, the heater blowing cooler at idle, fans that sound like they're working overtime for no reason, the temperature sitting just a little higher in traffic than it used to. And there's a simple pattern that helps you narrow it down. If the temperature rises while you're stopped, but drops once you're moving, airflow or fan operation jumps up the suspect list. If it spikes quickly after startup, low coolant or a thermostat issue becomes more likely. Keep it simple and specific. Use the correct coolant type for your model year, keep the level between the marks, and fix leaks early instead of feeding them. If you tow, drive in extreme heat, or live in traffic, your heat load is higher, which means your margin for later is smaller. A hose or thermostat is manageable. A real overheat can turn into a multi-thousand-dollar lesson, and even if the car seems fine afterward, it can shorten the engine's future. Now that heat is under control, number 7 is the wear point almost everyone forgets, until it turns into the repair that changes how you feel about the car. Number 7. Transmission fluid before it complains. Next time you drive your Chevy, pay attention to one moment people always ignore: the first few shifts after the vehicle is fully warmed up. Not cold, warm. If it hesitates, bumps, shudders at steady speed, or feels like it is thinking before it changes gears, do not call that normal aging. That is usually the beginning of a problem, not the end of one. The dream of 600,000 miles dies in transmissions more often than engines, and the reason is usually heat plus neglect. Transmission fluid is not a lifetime substance. It's a working fluid. It carries heat away, lubricates, and keeps friction surfaces behaving the way they should. Every summer traffic crawl, every hill, every hard acceleration, every towing day adds heat, and heat slowly cooks the fluid until shifts stop feeling clean. You can catch it early with your senses. If there is a burnt smell after a hard drive, if you feel a shudder while cruising, or if shifts are inconsistent day to day, start thinking about fluid health and temperature. And if the engine revs rise without the car matching it right away, that is not a cute quirk. That is your warning flare. The long life approach is boring in the best way. Service the fluid on a sensible schedule, especially if you tow, drive in heat, or live in stop and go traffic. Many Chevys do best with a drain and fill style service rather than waiting for the unit to need it, and use the correct fluid spec. Being close is how you create new problems you did not have. A few hundred spent on fluid service is cheap compared to a transmission rebuild that can land in the thousands. Now 6 is the system that can quietly destroy a strong engine, even when everything else is perfect: the air and fuel it breathes. Number 6. Air and fuel habits that prevent carbon and misfires. If you want your Chevy to stay smooth past 200,000, then 400, then 600, you have to keep the engine breathing clean and burning clean. Start with something simple this week. Check your engine air filter. If it looks like it has been vacuuming a construction site, you have found an easy win. A lot of owners ignore airflow and fuel quality because the car still runs. But over time, restricted airflow can make the engine work harder, and the computer starts compensating in ways you will feel later as sluggish throttle response, worse mileage, or a rougher idle. On some direct injection engines, carbon buildup can also become part of the long story, especially if the car lives on short trips where it rarely gets fully hot and happy. You do not have to become a mechanic, just watch for patterns. If cold starts get rough, if the idle feels uneven, if you notice hesitation when you tip into the gas, or if you get a check engine light paired with a misfire, do not clear it and hope. That is how small issues turn into damage. Keep the basics tight. Replace filters on time. Use good fuel from busy stations. If your manual recommends a specific octane, don't treat it like a suggestion. And once in a while, let the engine do a proper heat cycle. Short trips all week and never letting the engine reach full operating temperature is like asking it to run a marathon while still stretching. If this kind of practical breakdown is useful, hit like and subscribe, because the next habits are the ones that separate a well-maintained Chevy from a genuinely long-life one. And once the engine is breathing right, 5 is the habit that protects every moving part you never see. The 10-minute monthly ritual that prevents surprise failures. Number 5. The 10-minute monthly ritual that prevents surprise failures. Pick one day a month and make it your Chevy's health check. Not an afternoon project. 10 minutes. Hood up. Quick look, then you're done. This is the habit that separates high-mileage cars from cars that die randomly, because most major repairs start as minor leaks or low levels that went unnoticed for months. Start with the obvious ones. Oil level, coolant level when the engine is cold, brake fluid level. Look for anything wet that should be dry, especially around hose connections and under the front of the engine bay. Then, check tire pressures, because tires are not just rubber, they are your suspension's first line of defense. Underinflated tires run hotter, wear faster, and make everything work harder. While you're there, listen for changes with the engine idling, a new squeal, a new tick, a new vibration, and pay attention to smells. A sweet smell can hint coolant. A burnt smell after normal driving can hint overheating components or slipping belts. This is where the math gets satisfying. 10 minutes a month is 2 hours a year. 2 hours a year is how you avoid the surprise breakdown that steals your whole weekend. And this is where the money difference gets brutal. Catching a small leak early might be a simple hose or gasket. Ignore it long enough and it becomes overheating, contamination, or component failure that turns into a 4-figure repair. Now 4 is about the parts everyone forgets until they fail. And when they fail, they do not fail politely. Number 4. Suspension and steering before it eats your tires. If your Chevy is ever going to see 600,000 miles, you cannot let suspension wear turn into a slow-motion chain reaction. The easiest way to start is on your next drive. Find a smooth road, hold a steady speed, and notice whether the car tracks straight or if you're constantly correcting the wheel. Then hit a few normal bumps and listen for clunks, rattles, or a hollow knock that feels like something is loose. People ignore early suspension symptoms because the car still moves, but small play in a ball joint, a worn tie rod, tired shocks, or a bushing that's starting to crack does not stay small. It changes alignment. Alignment changes tire wear. Tire wear changes handling and braking. And now you're not just replacing one part, you're burning through tires and stressing everything connected to them. There's a quick check you can do without tools. Look at your tire tread wear. If one edge is wearing faster than the rest, or the wear looks feathered, something is out of spec. If the steering wheel is no longer centered, or you feel a vibration that wasn't there a month ago, take it seriously. And if you hear a clunk when you brake or accelerate, that can be a sign of movement where there shouldn't be. The long life habit is to fix looseness early and align the car when you replace tires or after a hard pothole hit. Think of alignment as protecting your tires, not as an optional add-on. Tires are expensive. Suspension parts are expensive. Letting them destroy each other is the most expensive version of "I'll deal with it later." Now 3 is about something even more basic than suspension, but it quietly decides whether your engine is protected every time you start it. Number 3. The filter pair that saves your engine and your cabin. Most people treat filters like disposable inconveniences. They replace them when the dealership circles them in red, or when the car starts smelling weird, or when the engine feels a little lazy. That mindset will not get you to 600,000 miles. Start this week with 2 checks: engine air filter and cabin air filter. The engine filter protects performance and engine health by keeping dirt out of the intake. The cabin filter protects your vents, your blower motor, and your lungs, and it also affects how hard the HVAC system has to work. Both are cheap, both are ignored. Here is what happens when you stretch them too far. A clogged engine filter can restrict airflow, push the engine to work harder, and contribute to sluggish response and poorer mileage. A filthy cabin filter can make the fan noisy, reduce airflow, and leave your vents smelling like a damp basement. None of these feel major, which is why people ignore them. But on the road to 600,000, small stress repeated for years matters. If you want a simple diagnostic trigger, use this. If your AC feels weaker than it used to, but the system is charged, check the cabin filter before you assume something expensive is broken. If the engine feels less responsive, and you have not checked the engine filter in a long time, time. Start there before you chase sensors. Replace them on a sensible schedule based on your environment. Dusty roads, harmattan, heavy traffic, and construction zones shorten the interval, and when you replace them, you'll feel the difference immediately, which is the rare kind of maintenance that gives instant gratification. Now 2 is the habit that protects the engine from the inside out, and it's the one most owners overthink until it's too late. Number 2. The do not let it run low rule for oil and coolant. This is simple, but it is where long-life engines are made or broken. Never let oil or coolant run low and call it normal. If you top off regularly without fixing the cause, you are not maintaining the car. You are babysitting a problem until it grows teeth. On a high-mileage Chevy, a small oil seep can feel harmless. Until the level drops, the oil runs hotter, lubrication thins out under load, and wear accelerates in the places you cannot see. Same story with coolant. A small leak becomes air in the system. Air becomes hot spots, and hot spots are how engines warp, crack, or start cooking seals. The car can still run fine right up until it doesn't. Make it a rule that you check oil at least twice a month, especially if the vehicle is older, and check coolant level when the engine is cold. If you notice the level dropping, don't just top it off forever. Find the leak. A hose, clamp, gasket, or reservoir is manageable. An overheating event is a car-changing bill, and don't ignore the small signs. Oil spots where you park, a sweet smell after a drive. The heater acting strange, fans working harder than usual. Those are clues, not quirks. If you stick to this rule, you prevent the kind of silent damage that shows up years later as my engine just gave up. Engines rarely just give up. They get worn down while nobody is watching. Now 1 is the final habit that ties everything together, because 600,000 miles is not one big decision. It's the small decisions you repeat. Number 1. Fix small changes immediately, because they never stay small. 600,000 miles is not a heroic moment where your Chevy suddenly becomes immortal. It's the boring result of catching small changes early and refusing to let them turn into a cascade. Most major repairs don't arrive as a surprise. They arrive as a tiny symptom that got ignored for months because the car still drove. So here's the habit that ties everything together. The moment something changes, you investigate it while it's still cheap. A new sound, a new vibration, a smell you've never noticed, a shift that feels slightly different, a temperature that sits a little higher in traffic than it used to. That is your window. That's when a simple fix stays simple. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect proof. They want a warning light. They want the car to fully brake so they don't feel like they're overreacting. But by the time the vehicle is screaming, you're paying for collateral damage. A small leak becomes low fluids. Low fluids become heat. Heat becomes warped parts and cooked seals. A small suspension knock becomes tire wear, which becomes alignment issues, which becomes handling problems. And suddenly, the bill is not for one part, it's for everything that part quietly hurt along the way. Build a simple rule for yourself. If a change repeats twice, it earns attention. Run the radio off check. Do the quick monthly ritual. Write notes when something feels off. And when you do go to a shop, show up with details, not vibes. A good mechanic can fix a problem faster when you can say when it happens, how it sounds, and what makes it better or worse. That's how high mileage owners think. They don't do perfect maintenance. They do early maintenance. And early is what keeps your Chevy on the road long after most people would have given up. Next, we're switching from habits to hard truth. The 7 worst Chevy models that nobody buys, according to Consumer Reports, and what they got wrong, so you don't end up owning the one Chevy that fights you every step of the way.